Welcome into Mavericks Today. I am Harrison Graham. Could the Mavs be acquiring a dynamic duo from the Toronto Raptors? Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby. The Raptors could be shaking things up. Could the Mavericks be in on one or both of these guys? We'll explore that here on today's show. And speaking of, we're plugging out more and more videos just about every single day now here on Mavericks Today. So do you want year-round Mavs coverage, latest news, rumors, analysis? Do you want free agency and draft coverage? Some watch parties, maybe some live shows could be in the works as well. All you got to do is subscribe. Hit that sub button. Let's get to 22,000 subscribers as soon as possible. If you're a true MFFL, this is the channel for you. Do not miss out as the offseason is upon us. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about this possibility. OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam. Could they be the answer to the Mavericks' problems? I certainly think they could. A couple of guys who can score, and especially in Anunoby's case, can really play some defense. That's where we'll start. OG Anunoby, a player who's been connected to trade buzz over the past couple of years, especially this past trade deadline. There was a lot of chatter that he would get moved. He did not, which was a big surprise in NBA circles. You look at his last 4 seasons here, last year in particular, 17 points, 39% from three. The last 3 years, that's kind of what he's been, right? 16 to 17 points. He's going to shoot upper 30s from three, mid-high 40s from the field overall. And what most importantly is he is a win now 3-and-D type of piece, right? And you need those type of guys next to Luka Doncic because, and especially with Kyrie Irving too, like if you run it back with Kyrie and Luka, you need guys who can defend around him, and Anunoby can do that. He can defend 1 through 4s. If he gets stuck on switches, he can hold his own, and he's the type of player that in the playoffs he's in your final 5 every single night. Like he's a guy that's on the floor. So I'm intrigued by this. I'll be fascinated to see what Toronto does. Do they blow it up? Do they try and, acquire a win-now coach and try to kind of just slightly tinker things to get back into the mix? But I like the thought of Anunoby. You look at his career playoff numbers. He, in 2022, this past year, averaged 17.3 points per game. That was pretty damn good, 48% from the field. Didn't shoot it as well from three. Year before, points were down, but 2 years earlier, I should say, but shot the ball well from three, just like he did in 2018. Lesser roles in 18 and in 20, but he's a guy with some success in the postseason as well. Now, Anunoby has a cap hit of $18.6 million this next year. Nothing crazy. $20 million option for 24-25. So you're taking on 2 years and $38-ish million. I bet he would opt out in that 24-25. He could probably get more than 19.9, especially if he has a good year next year. But you have contracts that can match up with that. Davis Bertans, Tim Hardaway Jr. So you can package some things together to try and get an Anunoby if you want to. Now rate OG as a player as if, you're playing 2K. What's his overall rating going to be? Is it going to be, 82, 84? I'll say he's like a solid 83, 84, somewhere in there, like just below all-star level. Like he's a really good starter. Like he's in that category, right? Like you got superstars, all-stars, good starter. And that's kind of the category that Anunoby is in. So, B minus, that's kind of the type of player he is. Let me know what you guys think. BetUS sponsoring today's show. If you want to go bet on these conference finals games, go to chatsports.com/MFFL and use our promo code MFFL. Put down $100 when you sign up. They'll give you an additional $125 for free with that promo code. It's MFFL, Mavs fan for life. Chatsports.com/MFFL, code MFFL. Go bet on the conference finals and anything else you may choose. Okay, let's talk to Pascal Siakam. Could a homecoming be coming? He, of course, played his high school ball in Louisville, just down the road from Dallas. Can the Mavs bring him back to DFW? I've always liked Pascal Siakam ever since he performed so well in those finals with Kawhi, 4 years ago, whatever that was. And he's gotten better every year as a scorer. He's never really developed a reliable three-point shot, which is a bit disappointing, but had a career-high 24.2 points per game last year. He's always been a good rebounder as a wing, right around 8 rebounds per game. Very efficient from the floor. It's just the three-point shot that isn't really there, but he's one of the more underrated stars in the game. Like, I'd put him in that all-star category. Like, he's not high-end all-star superstar, but he's a top 30-ish player in this league, and I think as a number 3 next to Luka and Kyrie, that's a great role for him because he can give you, he probably wouldn't average 24, 25 here. He'd probably be more like 18 to 22, but efficient scorer. You could run him some with the second unit. He could be the primary scorer, put some shooters around him. So I definitely like the idea of Siakam as well. Now, an anonymous GM told Heavy.com this, saying Siakam has 1 year left on a $38 million deal. Same thing with Anunoby, $18.6 million. Then he's got the player option, like we mentioned. I just don't know if they're going to get much in return for those guys. I don't know if the value is there, and they didn't get value for OG this trade deadline either, which that's good news for Dallas. If that's true and the value isn't what Toronto might think it is, but they still want to move him because they don't think they're going to re-sign him or whatever the case may be, that could be an advantage for Dallas in an offseason where free agency is not going to have that strong of a pool, and they kept the number 10 pick, so you got the extra trade chip. Some kind of Anunoby Siakam package or just even getting one of these guys, I think, would certainly benefit this team greatly. So here's a trade idea producer Coop and I cooked up. OG Anunoby and Pascal Siakam to Dallas for Tim Hardaway Jr., Davis Bertans, Reggie Bullock, Maxi Kleber, number 10 overall pick, and a first-round pick in 27. Is that enough? You may have to throw Jaden Hardy in there as well, another young good piece to get that done. Does Toronto, would they rather get more just draft capital? I mean, 2 firsts in there, that's decent. Not incredible, though, for Anunoby and Siakam. Sure, this is mortgaging your future a little bit, but Siakam and OG are still young enough players. And if you bring them in here with Luka and Kyrie and then just find a decent defensive big, you're sitting a lot better tomorrow than you did today. I'll put it that way. So I'm intrigued by this. I like both these players. I don't think you need a pure superstar. Like if you bring back Kyrie, you just need good players next to Luka and Kyrie. And Siakam and Anunoby, that'd be your 3rd and 4th best player right there. Then you just got to fill out, roster 5 through 8, 5 through 9. If you can find good, valuable pieces there, that is solid. You definitely be putting all your eggs into this basket and hope it pays off, but you might have to do that anyway. Like the Luka clock is going to start to tick, man. Like if you go another year or two with underwhelming results, he might request a trade at that point. Like, I would not rule out next offseason if the Mavs struggle this year and either miss the playoffs again or are one and done in the playoffs, like, he could request a trade. Now, I tend to think you probably have at least 2 more years, but that's not guaranteed, folks. Like, as intrigued as I am with just using the number 10 pick on an NBA draft player, and maybe they will, and I'd be fine with that, I doubt they do it because they're going to want to try and get a win-now piece or pieces. So would you do this trade? We'll revisit it. Anunoby and Siakam to Dallas for THJ, Bertans, Bullock, and Kleber for number 10 overall in 2027 first. I would do it. The biggest loss there would probably be Kleber with his defensive versatility. Type A for accept or D for decline. I would accept it. Not sure Toronto would, but let me know what you guys think. All right, that's it for today's episode of Mavericks Today. Our coverage, like I said, heating up. Things are coming in. Rumors are circulating with only 4 teams left in the playoffs. A lot of teams shifting to off-season mode. Mavs have been here for a few weeks, obviously. So if you want more coverage, you want more videos, news, rumors, trade buzz, free agency, we are the channel for you. It's youtube.com/MavsTV. Keep it locked in here for more coverage.